My heater's broke and I'm so tired.
Rob Lewis music and stuff. Say it loud, say it loud, say it loud. Rob Lewis music and stuff. Hit that play to Rob Lewis music and stuff. One more time, never enough.
Hello all, welcome to Music and Stuff. I'm Rob Lewis and thank Kiss it's Friday. Well, this week it's the big one, reviewing the debut album. Yes, the debut album released February the 8th, 1974. What a classic. Now, I'm just going to talk a little bit about this particular copy. I got this when I was very young. I hadn't been into Kiss very long, and I say that in a lot of these videos, but they are all true. This was, I went to a record and tape fair in my hometown, and I had a bit of pocket money, and I saw this for, I don't know, £6-7. I didn't have many Kiss records. I knew some of the tracks on here, but I didn't have many. I think I had the Peter Criss solo album, which I'd also bought from a previous record fair, and some CDs that my brother had given me and cassettes and stuff. But I didn't have this particular album. So when I saw it there, and it was within my budget, I had to have it. I had to have it. So here we go here, engineered by Warren Dewey at Bell Sounds Studio, yes, New York City, recorded at Bell Sound Studios, October 1973, New York City. Direction, management, Rocksteady, exclusive representation, ATI, album concept, Rocksteady, art direction, design, Lock Art, photography, Joel Brodsky, of course, on January 31st, 74. All songs copyright 1973, Casablanca Music, Rocksteady Music, ASCAP, except Kiss and Time, published by TB Harms Co. ASCAP. We'll talk about Kiss and Time when we get to it. This is actually from 1977, this particular pressing. It does have Kiss and Time on there. Produced by Kenny Kerner and Richie Wise. Gene Simmons, bass vocals, Peter Criss, drums, vocals, Paul Stanley, rhythm guitar vocals, Ace Frehley, lead guitar vocals. Kiss. Thanks Ron Johnson for his faith and friendship. Firehouse Fire Engine, driven by the magnificent Eddie Solon, Mark LeBeau and Richie Wise. Bobby Claps on Nothing to Lose. Bobby claps on Nothing to Lose, and Bruce Foster plays piano. Where's Drago? What does that mean? I've never understood that. Where's Drago from? Enlighten me. If you know, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what that's all about. Side 1, Strutter, Stanley and Simmons, Nothing to Lose, Simmons, Firehouse, Stanley, Cold Gin, Frehley, Let Me Know, Stanley. Side 2, Kiss in Time, Man and Low. 2, Deuce, Simmons, Love 3, Love Theme from Kiss, Stanley Simmons, Chris and Frehley, 100,000 Years, Stanley and Simmons, Black Diamond, Stanley. I think this was before, it may have been before they had the actual finalised logo. I can't remember. You may have seen it, I've made a documentary series, I'm still making it, and 1974 is on there, and it's talking about the making of this album and the release and everything. I just can't remember where in the timeline the logo, I guess the logo was already done, but they didn't use it for this, did they? Is it used at all? There's kind of a very small version used on Casablanca Records, of course. It's not on the disc itself either. But I was very proud of having this at such a young age. I was only about 12 or 13. And it was like a bit of a discovery. I mean, this is over 50 years old now. This particular one isn't. This is nearly 50 years old. But the album itself is like, it's incredible. So, Before we start, hello, Holiday Rob here from Croatia. Just want to let you know, if you're enjoying this video, thanks very much for watching, but don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and of course the alarm notification bell so you know when my videos are coming out. And yeah, if you're interested, I've got social network stuff, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, not Twitter though. And I've also got a Patreon, so you can find me there. It's in the description. Links for everything's in the description. And yeah, I'm going to hand you back again, because otherwise Studio Rob gets frustrated. Thanks very much. So, here we go. Running down the tracks. Track number 1, Strutter, written by Paul and Gene, sung by Paul. Back in the day, I didn't care much for this song. I don't know why. I don't know where that came from, what that was spurred on by. I think it was just me trying to be an edgy teen. I don't know. Now, obviously, I love Strutter. I'm thinking about doing a cover for this channel on Strutter. I just haven't yet. But I absolutely love it. And it's almost a perfect song. There was another version recorded in 1978, and I'll cover that when I do my double platinum review. But this original cut of Strutter is sound. It's chef's kiss. It's superb, and it's got a 10 out of 10 for me. I have ranked this album as my favourite of Kiss albums, so don't be surprised if the numbers are high. Track number 2, Nothing to Lose, written by Gene Simmons. I got the things back to front on my own notes. Written by Gene Simmons, sung by Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley and Peter Criss. Great how they used to do that back in the day. They'd all kind of sing bits of the same song. And this is one of them. Nothing to Lose. I'm not going to say it on here, but Google what it's about. Thank you, you're welcome. It's such a good track. I learned to play it a few years ago. And it's a fun song, and you don't often hear piano on a Kiss track. But it is a fun song, and I love it. It's 10 out of 10. Solid. Firehouse. Now, written by Paul Stanley and sung by Paul Stanley. He used to wear his fireman's helmet, remember? And they'd have the siren going and the lights, and Gene would come on and he'd do his spitting the fire and everything. Absolutely epic. Epic. Great song. Another one, I did a Kiss night during COVID in one of the lockdowns. It was only on Facebook. I didn't have much of a YouTube presence then, and I did a whole night of Kiss material, and Firehouse was one of them that I hadn't worked out how to play before, but it's good fun. It's a good sort of rock and roll riff. Get the firehouse. Do, 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 do. Back in those days, Paul Stanley, all of them, they really knew how to write a decent song. They really could write bangers back then. 10 out of 10. We got 30 out of 30 so far. Full house. Track 4, Cold Gin, presented to the band by Ace Frehley quite early on, and obviously written by Ace Frehley and sung by Gene Simmons. By all accounts, they wanted Ace to sing it, but he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to sing. He would sing it at his later shows, his solo stuff, and during the reunion, Gene would sing the first verse and Ace would sing the second verse. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Guess what? It's 10 out of 10. Then we get Let Me Know. Oh, I have to say also, if you're interested, I have done a cover of Cold Gin on this channel. I'll put a link in the description. I'll also put a link up there if you want to see it. So yeah, track 5, Let Me Know, written by Paul Stanley, sung by Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. Again, this was an old Wicked Lester song. Many of them were, but this was an old Wicked Lester song called Sunday Driver, and it's great. It's like if the Beatles were still around at that point and they went to like a hard rock vibe. it's very much got those Beatles vibe to it. Another song I've actually done a cover for on this channel. Again, I'll put a link in the description and another one up there if you wish to see it. It's one of my favourite Kiss songs, which is why it's got a 10 out of 10. So side 1, it's got a clean sheet. What's the phrase? It's got 50 out of 50. It's so good. It really is fantastic. Then we have side 2, track number 6. Now, I'm going to include this. I know the original didn't have Kissin' Time on it, but every version since then has. So I think we have to include Kissin' Time on the album. Originally by Bobby Rydell and written by Cal Mann and Bernie Lowe, with vocals by Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons and Peter Criss. Whoa, 'cause anytime. If you listen to the original Bobby Rydell version, it's so different. It's almost a different song, but it was recorded to be part of the Casablanca Records Great Kiss Off, the kissing competition of 1974. And the band agreed to record a cover of it with the understanding it would never appear on any album. And has appeared on every cut of the debut album ever since. I do not. I've got this on CD. I do not own a copy without Kissin' Time on it, but I like it. Maybe I was young when I got this album, and I didn't know the backstory behind it. I just thought it was a Kiss song. So for that reason, I love it. But this is where the points do change. This hasn't got a 10 out of 10. It's got a 9 out of 10. It's just because I like what they've done with it. I'm not ashamed to say that. I do like what they've done with it. Kissin' Time, the Kiss version, superb. Track number 7, Deuce, written and sung by Gene Simmons. What can you say? It's Deuce. If you've never seen them play this live, you'll wonder what it is I'm doing now. Made myself a bit dizzy. Deuce. Kiss standard, absolutely fantastic. For many years they would open with Deuce at their shows, and it's just a solid track that gets 10 out of 10 because it's that good. Deuce, 10 out of 10. What a riff, particularly like these Lenny Kravitz and Stevie Wonder version on the Kiss My Ass album. But yeah, fantastic track, Deuce. Track number 8, Love Theme from Kiss. Now this is interesting. So this is the only song that I'm aware of that's written by Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Peter Criss and Ace Frehley. It's the only song that they're all credited with. And there's no vocals in it, but it was a section of an instrumental track that he would perform live called Acrobat. And this is one section. Why they called it Love Theme from Kiss, I don't know. They could have just left it as Acrobat, and it would have made more sense, I think. It's not everybody's cup of tea. It's a bit slower than the other stuff. I still like it though. I still think it's great, and I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know if you were supposed to. It's called Love Theme from Kiss. Whether you were supposed to, to it. If that is the case, it's only 2 minutes and 24 seconds long. Track number 9, 100,000 Years, written by Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, sung by Paul Stanley. Opens with that bass riff. Oh, so good. So good. It's the quality of songs on this debut album is off the charts, and that's why 100,000 Years it gets a 10 out of 10. It's just staggeringly good, everything about it. And then we get to track number 10, Black Diamond, written by Paul Stanley and sung by the intro, sung by Paul Stanley, and the rest of the song sung by Peter Criss. And it is up there for me in terms of Kiss songs. It could, in my opinion, be their greatest song ever made. Certainly a good contender, certainly top 3. Black Diamond. From the intro, the acoustic intro, to the riff, that guitar solo, my god, that guitar solo, and the harmonies, and then the slow death at the end of the song, which is basically them just hitting an A5 power chord and then slowing down the tape so it would appear that it's getting low, deeper and slower. But my god, what a song. If I could, I would give it an 11 out of 10, maybe even a 12 for Black Diamond. And also, isn't it correct that Black Diamond was the makeup manufacturer? But yeah, what an absolutely fantastic song. So, Kiss, the debut album, got a whopping 98% score. I think that qualifies as a 10 out of 10. I think it's a 10 out of 10 album. It's just so good. It's as close to a perfect album as you can get. Interesting story about Peter Criss's cat makeup, that they appeared at Brodsky's studio on 57th Street in Manhattan to do the photo shoot, and there was a makeup artist that insisted on doing the makeup, which is why his makeup looks so different to what would normally what you'd normally have. But it works for that album. But again, if you want to know more about that, check out my video, We Got the Best, episode 1, link in the description and up there. But I'm guessing most people watching this are here because they've seen that video anyway. But yeah, it just gives a bit more in-depth look at the album. So there it is, Kiss, the debut album from 1974. Absolutely fantastic. It's my favourite Kiss album, and I can't fault it, everything about it. But yeah, if you could let me know about the Where's Drago. Maybe I feel silly even asking, but I don't get it. But I'll see you in the next one. Thanks very, very much for watching. Catch you later, Bill and Ted.